So you've studied, you've applied. There's only one thing left to do, and that's interview. Now, I like to start out this section with a statistic, and this is a statistic that I came to realize through my own research over the years, and I'm really, really confident in its accuracy. That number is 100%. And what does that correspond to? Well, it's the number of you that will have bad interviews. Yes, it's true. You will have bad interviews. You will. Yes, you. That might sound pessimistic, but it's actually very freeing once you realize what I mean by this. I don't mean just you. I mean everyone. 100%. I will have bad interviews. Your peers will have bad interviews. Your manager will have bad interviews. Everyone. We're all in this together. So once you realize that, it becomes not a big deal if it happens to you, because it will happen to you. It'll happen to everyone. You will get ghosted. You will apply to a job that you think is perfect for you, and you won't hear back. And maybe you'll send out the email template in order, that you send out whenever they don't respond to your cover letter. They might not respond to that either. It'll happen. You might get ghosted after you've started the interview process, where you actually speak with a hiring manager and then they drop off the face of the earth. It happens. And when it does, don't take it personally, and don't let it affect you too much. You might even get rejected with zero feedback, and sometimes even after you think you've nailed an on-site. Maybe you've done the phone screen, maybe you've done the technical screen, and maybe you've gone through the gauntlet of the on-site, done 6 rounds, spoken with the CEO, you've done everything. And you might just get rejected with zero feedback, even after you've requested feedback. I actually have a story where I've gone on an on-site after exactly that, multiple rounds, phone screens, technical screens, met with the CEO, 6-hour on-site behavioral skills, like soft skill interviews, technical screens, all that, and left high-fiving the mailman afterwards. I was so happy, big grin on my face. I thought I nailed it. And then 2 days later, I get a generic HR rejection. It was clear that it was an email template being sent from HR software saying we decided not to move forward with your candidacy. An email that you might get whenever you've applied and they decided not to move forward based upon your cover letter. So then I would reach out and be like, hey, I'm just curious if there's any feedback, thank you so much for the opportunity, stuff like that. And nothing. It'll happen. It'll happen. And the point here is that it could be for anything. It could be for anything. Just don't dwell on it. Just don't even try to guess. It's futile. There's no point. So just have the mindset of thank you, next. Thank you for your time. I'm on to the next one. Don't even go there. Don't even try to guess. And what's interesting and totally true is that you will have other chances with other amazing companies, often the same one. I think basically in every single instance where I've been rejected after a bad interview, they end up reaching back out to me months, years later. In the example I just talked about with the on-site, where I got rejected afterwards, generic HR type of email, I swear they reached out again a couple years later. It's happened many, many times. So even when you have bad interviews, it doesn't even matter, because there's a million other amazing companies, and you will even probably most likely have another chance with that same company. So if you will, bear with me and join me in a little exercise. What I'd like you to do is just accept everything the way it is. Don't wish the world was different. Don't wish the interview process was different. Just close your eyes and just accept it. Now, there's a big difference between accepting it and expecting it. I don't want you to expect to have bad interviews, but if you do, just accept it and move on, and don't dwell on it, and don't let it affect you, and don't let it affect the next interview. You just accept it and move on. And it's actually a really powerful thing to accept this fact, because once you've accepted it, you have the power to redirect how things go. Once you're in a bad interview, I've been in the process of having a bad interview where I am in the middle of an interview and I recognize, I'm like, oh, I'm having a really bad interview. And instead of like freaking out and getting sweaty and starting to panic, I almost get more calm. I get calmer than I ever have, because it's like the irony is that I actually become a better interviewer in that situation anyways. And I've been in situations like that where I can even recover from it like mid-interview because I've just kind of accepted it. So there's also a really great interview meditation that I recommend. This is with the people at Interview Cake, and it's free. It's a 12-minute visualization exercise that can really calm your nerves and make you feel more relaxed before you step into an interview room. So yeah, this is actually a really important section, is just accept it, and you have the power to, with that acceptance, start becoming better at interviewing.